that more difficult. Just by a lot. Well, I don't know how to figure this out. I don't know I can't see what to do next. Yeah, but what I'm outputting audio, but what about video? Okay, well, I'm putting out audio, but I don't see the webcam isn't working as far as I can see. It's not up enough on this. There it is. All right. Let's see. Okay, I think we're on the mark now. All right, I'm going to try this anyway and see. You'll have to forgive me, please. I'm 79 years old and I'm a lifelong salesperson, marketing person, business owner, importer. But when it comes to the technical stuff, that's where you lose me. So, anyway, the purpose of this video is to blend in the information on dronebrand.com. And the theme of the opening page of my website, dronebrand.com, is uh, America Made Greater. And it says there something like, we have, and now we'll continue. And then it goes to the next page, and the reason it says there's something to the effect that the reason we will continue to uh, have a situation where we have America made greater is because, and I collectively use the word you, and then when you go to the next page, you find out how I relate all the different brands that I use in marketing to include in the word you local business owners, small business owners, and you, the consumer, the customer. Now, I branded that customer as Drone Customer Group. And the reason I did that was because the intention is, and the goal is to combine people who are customers into a group, a database group, that they can take advantage of my concept of fungible funding and fungible benefits. You'll see as you progress down the web page, fungible funding and fungible benefits. Now, if you know much about being on the web and you know about the crowdsourcing funding platforms that are on the internet that allow people to go on there to start a business and get people to put money into their particular idea. Well, that's great, and I applaud that, and people that want to do it that way, it's fine. But I have a concept that I think makes a lot more sense from my perspective of being in sales and marketing and business ownership and importing over the years. By the way, I started my sales career when I was 8 years old, knocking on doors in my neighborhood, Norfolk, Nebraska, selling boxed greeting cards. So, and I'm 79 now, so you do a quick calculation there. That's 70 years I've been at this game of selling. Now, I don't say that to brag, and if I don't put this caveat in there, somebody will say, "Oh, the guy's bragging, about his sales career." No, that's not the purpose of telling you that. The purpose of telling you that is I've got my summary of my SaaS career history on the internet, and you can go there, and there's links. You can find them there if you just look. That will summarize my sales career over that 70 years. And if I do say so myself, it's quite unique. I've done some things that have one particular thing that I got involved with back in the early 70s is a particular, and I sold the first machine. I imported it from Germany, And I bought the import machine from Germany called a silo press and sold the first one in the United States myself to a cattle feeder from Blair, Nebraska, Washington County. And that was in the early 70s. And today that business, and I won't bore you with the details, but that business is a multi-billion dollar business today. So my efforts, and I, in my late career, in the late 90s, I was I was approached. I was working for selling for the largest insurance company in Nebraska, selling individual contracts, and this particular company had a contract on one of the first nursing home policies, and I had been noted as one of the top salespeople in that organization for a couple of years, and the executives of the company came to me and offered me director of sales position. Now, if you just, again, I'm not bragging. If you want to think I'm bragging, that's up to you. But my whole point of telling you this is that from the early 60s and 70s of my career, right up until I got off the road, did mostly during my 30, 40, 50 years of selling was traveling on the road. I wore out several cars and did a little flying and never did take the train. But so I just simply am indicating that you gain experience, some good, some bad, through those years. And I'm able now, from that experience, to put all that together into a business plan. And my whole purpose of it is to provide things to customers that they're not getting from the business community today, big or small business owners, and they're not getting, business owners are not getting the benefits from their investments because of the lack of ability to market their business, sell their business to consumers in their particular city where they're operating. And that's verified by the fact that you've got over 23 million businesses in the United States that are independent businesses, and you've only got a few thousand that have been what we would call successful. So it works out to, in my business plan, a goal or a tag advertising promotion of get customers easy. And by doing that, I group the customers into a drone customer group so that they can be targeted as receiving the benefits that my business plan provides to the business owners, city by city, to take and benefit from my business plan that the business owners provide to them. And it's all done online. As far as a directory is concerned, the directory is local page deals, and if you keep flicking through these pages on dronebrand.com, you'll come to local page deals, and you'll see how that works. And I've got it zeroed in on zip code cities so that my associate members of business owners who have to be approved, and the reason they have to be approved is because I sell a concept that I created for advertising in today's world of business for small business owners that's trademarked and branded business advertising by category. Now, why do I do that? Well, because it's difficult in selling today if you're in business for yourself and you're an independent. Now, I'm not talking about franchises. I'm not talking about national companies that have stores in the different cities. I'm not talking about franchises that have and categorical franchises. All the different kinds of franchises are all categorized. I'm talking about the local independent business owner is also categorized with a bunch of people who are in business that are in business in the same category they are. So everybody's feeding off the same market in a city, which is made up of disposable income. Now that means that what that means is after every customer pays all their monthly bills, weekly bills, whatever it is, the gas, their car payment if they got a car payment, their house payment if they got a house payment, or their rent if they've got a rent, they buy groceries. After they pay for all those things they have to have every month, there's a certain amount of money left over, and that's called disposable income. That's the kind of income that each person has, if there is a disposable income, money that they can choose to spend any way they want to. So that amount of money for the people that have disposable income is being spent in all the different categories that they choose to buy from. So you could see if you're in business in a community and you got your location wherever it is in the city, it's in some zip code in the city, it's in some carrier route of a zip code of a city, it's in some neighborhood, and it's on some block in a city. So, and I've got all those categories trademarked. So I can zero in on my approved members, and they have to be approved to get in the marketing, advertising, membership, associates.com membership that I offer to them. And you can see that at 7cities.com. Now, that's the business plan. It explains the business plan and goes through the various details of the business plan. And 7 is spelled out, and cities is plural. So it's it's SEVEN, and then it's CITIES, and then it's .com. So you can go there and you can see how that business plan works. And the nice part about my business plan is it's low cost and efficient. Now, when you're going to do any advertising as a business owner, it has to be low cost so you can afford it. And then once you've invested the money, the business plan's got to be effective, because if it isn't, eventually you're going to go broke if you keep investing in advertising. You don't get any money back from new customer. You don't create a profit. So my business plan does both. It's low cost and it creates new customers who spend money with my members because they are already spending money in all these different categories of their disposable income, each one. And my business plan allows them to go to just the business owners that by category are in my business plan. And my business plan offers them savings, fungible benefits they can't get anywhere else. Access to Drone Projects USA, access to Drone Association USA. The word drone, and words are important in marketing, because I get a kick out of some of these these names of some of these outfits that are online, and they're all after this. I know what they're after, but I mean, if you can't hardly pronounce the word, and you have to study what the word is for half a day before you can remember or be able to even pronounce it, I think it's not a very much of a value. So, but it's this new age marketing that most of these people that are in marketing today, even if they've been in it for the last 20, 25 years, most of it's out of a book. There's not any of them that's ever carried a sales bag on the street and went door to door and made sales presentations to business owners, and done it for years, decades, as I have done. So not only do you have the marketing background and experience that you've learned out of a book, but if you don't know what makes people buy things other than what you've learned out of a book, if you've never ever tested those theories. Now, I realize people say, well, look at all the successful businesses. Yeah, look at them. There's only a few thousand of them, and yet there's 23 million small independent business owners in the United States, according to the data that's available on the internet if you look it up. So what does that tell you? That tells you that uh, the 23 million out there are all scratching and so on and so forth to try to make a profit locally, and they're all fighting each other, plus they're fighting the franchises, plus they're fighting the national companies. So what my business plan tries to do, and I think does, and if you read through it and study it objectively and look at it logically, you can't help but come away and saying that, well, this looks like it should be all right. But one of the things I wanted to mention is my business plan is so low cost and it's so targeted and it's so branded and it's put together, the benefits are put together in a way that are so logical and objective in terms of thinking that it's going to work. It's going to get customers to purchase from my approved business owners. And the reason for that is because I group all of my members in zip code cities in one city into the cost that they pay each one into a bulk amount of money, and I have an agreement with them in writing, and it's published online, that says I'm going to spend all that money promoting those members. Well, if you look at my budget for promoting the members, it's 50% of the cost to be approved as a member. 50% of that money is used to advertise. So what does that do? That allows the group who gets into my program to be advertised in a way that gets attention to their particular business in their particular city, in their particular zip code or carrier route or neighborhood or city block cities, in a way that the rest of the people in their category, whether they be franchises or whether they be other categorical local independent business owner competitors who don't offer the same benefits that my select business owners offer in a city. And the select local business owners, select business owners are trademark brands to indicate that those are only the businesses in those zip codes, carrier routes, neighborhood cities, or block cities. Only those businesses offer the kinds of branded benefits that my plan offers. Now, I don't want to try to get too detailed in this, so that you got to go dig deep into this and find out what is that benefit that a customer who's already spending money, what is that benefit that's going to motivate that customer to go from the place they're spending it in their city where they live, close to where they live, or where they work in the zip code where they work, over to just spending that money that they have that's disposable at my select business owners. And that's the marketing, advertising, a membership associates fungible benefit that they get. And the customers get the fungible benefit of being able to get the kinds of benefits, and you'll see what they are if you go through the website enough to get to it. Just to give you a little hint, I call it progressive. I've created a concept called progressive savings coupons. And that means that every time you use one of my branded coupons through one of my select business owners in their zip code, in their city, you get a discount. And each time you use one of the coupons, you get more of a discount. And you get around, and there's 4 coupons in each cycle. So when you get around to the 4th one, I call it Enduring Loyalty Awards. It's a brand, and every one of these brands that I've got are all registered .coms. So you get maximum discounts as a consumer continuously. And because when I say continuously, once you get, now this brand is called Baseball Coupons. And I've got first base, second base, third base, home base coupons, all right? So when you get around to home base, what happens? you come up to bat again, right? So now you start over. You get first base, second base, third base, home base. You run the bases. Each time you run a base, you get a higher discount. So you're always cycling in the maximum discount one of my members can provide to you to increase their top line of sales as without affecting their business operating costs to the point where it affects their profit. And therefore, since their top line is higher, and they're getting higher profits. And that business, those customers are coming from other businesses, other competitor category businesses in the same city, in the same zip code, in the same carrier out, in the same neighborhood, cities, or in the same city block cities, because a total number of people comprise the market, make up the market. They pay their expenses and costs that they have to pay out of their income, and what's left over is disposable, and presently that's being dispersed. With my program, when I open up a city, it gives the consumer an option. The fact that that money is being spent over so many businesses and they're all taking a profit out of the money that is spent at each business makes for a very inefficient way to spend your disposable income. You can see that. But so if you switch where you're spending that money to a business that's able to offer you more discounts than their competitor, whether it be franchise or other categorical competitor in their city, not able to give that kind of a discount because they're adding sales, because the customer is not stupid. I mean, if they're buying a certain product from where they're buying it and they find out through the advertising that I spoke of that money can be spent over at a business that's competing with the business they've been buying, and they go to the other business that's one of my select local business members, approved members in their category, in their zip code, in their carrier route, in their neighborhood city or their city block cities, wherever their kind of a business it is and how much of an outreach they have, which indicates how many new customers they can handle. Whatever it is, the customer is going to benefit greatly because they're getting more discounts on their purchasing of their disposable income than they can get where they've been spending their money. Does that make sense? Study that, think about that, because it's important for you, and that's why I say that America Made Greater can continue, because it's not just some of the things that have been added to our America Made Greater progress in the last 3 or 4 years. It's not just that, but it's also now the ability to take the higher income that you've been getting. If you're one of those that has been having an increase in your income because of the things that have been done to make America great again, then you can take my business plan and take that extra money that you've been earning and add to it. So it's like getting the higher raise, because you're able to get discounts, progressive savings coupon discounts through my business owners than you can get anywhere else. Now, for you business owners that have to make a decision whether you want to try to get into one of my plans, and you have to get approved in a category, the first thing you have to find out is whether your competitor already beat you to it. If he's sitting in the catbird seat with the categorical ability to offer things now that you can't offer, so you have to apply to see, and I have to be able to check to see if I've already sold that slot in that category, in that zip code neighborhood, or carrier out neighborhood, or city block cities for targeting. And if there isn't anyone there, then my cost of my membership program, which is unique, because you'll see on the website when you go there that it's lifetime. and it's $499 lifetime. Now you say, well, that's nobody offers an advertising marketing program that's effective uh, as well as efficient. That means it gets a good return on investment for the lifetime. And they say there must be a scam somewhere here, and there isn't, because I've taken it one step, two steps further with that. All that money that I collect in a city, I have a brand called Local Business Bank Account.com. And I put all the money from the proceeds of selling the memberships in each city into a local bank in that city. So the money stays right in the town where the local business owners invests in my marketing plan to become an associate if they can get approved. Now, you say, all right, so it's in the bank, but so what? You can write checks on that and filter that money back out of the bank. But that would be true, except I've taken it another step and I've added certified public accountant audits online to CPA audits online to take a licensed state CPA and do an audit on all that money that goes in that local bank account and determine how much went in. That it's each one puts in $499, and then the audit is how the CPA goes and looks at that account, that bank account, and sees where that money was spent. And every time there's an audit, it has to zero out, because my agreement by writing says it's a concept that I created called capitalism, zero profit. And that means that capitalism of the advertising program is to spend the money in a way that it's most efficient. And the way that it's most efficient is you get all the money that you spent back in your advertising and your marketing, that you're an associate of the marketing advertising membership associates plan that I created. So you can see there's a lot of wheels within wheels in my business plan. Again, that comes from my experience, so many years of being in business and selling and doing marketing and doing importing and having to know what all these pieces are that have to work together to make an effective and an efficient marketing program and sales program for local businesses. Because I own 15 local businesses. And believe me when I tell you, you have to be on top of all those various facets of how your top line is distributed out in costs and how it filters down to where you have a net profit. So between putting all the money on my marketing plan into the memberships that are signed up into a local bank, and then having a CPA, paying a CPA to run an audit on all that money, how it comes in and how it goes out, and that it zeroes out to validate and certify my membership agreement, which says all that money is going to be spent to promote the members. Now, no other advertising platform or opportunity is offering that kind of a disclosure, that kind of an openness, and that kind of a close security on the money that's being spent for the advertising, because it's put in a local bank in your city. And now the other thing about my business plan, before I close off this video, is that I want to be sure to tell you that not only do I zero out all the money that's spent from my lifetime memberships to promote the group, but I also go one step further. I could say I'm going to spend it all on promoting it and then pay somebody all of it to go out and sell memberships. Well, that wouldn't be, it might be effective from a sales standpoint, acquiring members, but it wouldn't be from the standpoint of doing the advertising that's necessary and the and the website IT work that's necessary, and the legal work, and the CPA work, and the local events costs that my business plan provides. So what I've done is I've not only do I have an agreement that says I'm going to spend all that money back promoting the group in that city, it also says I'm going to put a budget on each one of the costs related to my business plan, and that is 15% of it goes for member acquisition, because you've got to have somebody out there beating the bushes, telling the business owners about it, so those categories get filled up in each zip code, carrier out, neighborhood cities, and even down to city block cities. Okay, you've got to have somebody out there doing that. Well, I take that $4.99. I take 15% of that and pay it to a sales rep to get out and tell this story. And then I take 15% of it and I pay it to an IT company to create and maintain the website and the various elements of the website that need to be continually updated, as far as adding new customers and adding local page deals, and what I brand as iPages USA. My brand is for the website overall for IT is website priceking.com, and then each one of the members have an iPagesUSA.com for directing people to their website or to their benefits where they're located, so on and so forth. And that's all listed at localpagedeals.com. And deals is spelled with a Z on the end. So it's local page deals with the Z on the end.com. That's a directory brand name. So if you go there, you'll see localpagedeals.com, and you'll see the city that's open. And then you'll see the zip codes where there's members, and then you'll see the carrier routes where there's members, and you'll see the neighborhood cities where there's members, business members, and then you'll see city block cities where there's members. And that way, and that's all associated with the database that comes in from the customer signing up with just an email address and their zip code where they live and their zip code where they work. Just 3 pieces of information, and their email address then is put in the database along with the zip code where they work and where they live, which can be different. And so then when they go to those websites, they automatically know where those best discounts that are continuous are available, close to where they live and close to where they work. Now, I could say a lot more about this, but I think I've already made this thing. Counting the time I spent trying to figure out how to get online, is they put a new, it's a great thing that YouTube has done. They put a new live video platform on that really gives a lot more opportunities, and I haven't figured out how to use most of them yet, but just getting online was something that I had to figure out. So I'm going to try to figure out here where I cut this off now, if I can, and shut this down.